Hi, this is Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to make this Always in My Heart masculine Valentine. Let's set it aside and get started. To start this card, I've got a piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4 and my silicone craft sheet and my multi-purpose glue. I should have had the opposite end down in my holder. And I'm just going to take this spreader end and start, and I want this to be kind of streaky across here. So I've given it a couple of good squeezes. And then I'm going to just set this aside and let it dry, since multi-purpose glue dries tacky, and that's the way we'll want it for the next step. So then, for our stamping, I've got my Stamparatus, and the stamp is already in here. I'm going to be using the Always in My Heart bundle, which is this stamp set and the Floral Hearts dies. You can find this bundle in the January to June Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. And of course, when you purchase it as a bundle, you receive a 10% discount. Now I'm inking in basic gray. And the reason I have it in my Stamparatus is to make sure that my gray is going to be as deep as I want it to be. So let's take this up slowly. And I want to ink this again. That is certainly one of the joys of the Stamparatus, is being able to stamp a second, third, even fourth time. And of course, then there's just producing multiples. It makes doing that so much easier. Okay. All right, so we've got a nice deep gray here. I'm going to set this aside for a moment and take my stamp out of the way. Let's put my ink pad away as well. And then I've got another piece of Whisper White and some of the adhesive sheet that you can find in the annual catalog. And I'm just going to attach this adhesive sheet to the Whisper White, basic white piece right here. So I know that 2 of these strips won't be too long, and then I'm going to need just a little bit more. So let's line this up here. And then I'm just going to peel this one, third strip back just a little bit and slide this in. And there we go. So then I'll just take my paper trimmer or my paper snips, which I have right here, and we'll go ahead and trim off that excess. We can keep that for another project. Okay, backing sheet is no longer necessary, and I'm going to take my Floral Hearts die now and cut this out, and I'll be right back. While I stepped away, I cut that piece of basic white with the Floral Heart die, and then I have an extra heart left over for a later project. And then I used the die again to cut out our stamped heart. And I also used the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder to emboss a piece of basic gray with its wonderful texture. So let me set pieces aside and pull in my scrap paper, and we're going to start with this floral heart, and we're going to use my take your pick and pull off the rest of the adhesive sheet backing that's left from the sticky side of the adhesive sheet. So once I pull this up, what's exposed will have adhesive all over it, which is perfect, exactly what I was wanting to happen. And then I'm going to bring in my Gilded Leafing. You can find that in my store. It's part of the offerings from the January to June Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. And I'm just sprinkling this all over. And let's put the lid over there. And I'm going to start with one of my blending brushes to just encourage all of this to stick down. And okay, and once we've got the bulk of it stuck, then I'm going to take this out of the way, and I've got a stamping sponge, and now I'm going to just burnish this. So this reveals, doing this step will reveal all of that lovely detail that was in the die. And it pulls off, oops, any of the excess gilding that's not really part of the design of the die. So let's just brush this around a little bit more. Oops, I keep bending this. Okay, I'm going to move some of this up here just a little bit. I want to clear this area, and right up here I've got just a little extra, and we're going to knock that off with the sponge. Okay. Let's set this aside just a moment, and we're going to then take this piece that we started with at the very beginning, the Whisper White, and sprinkle this back across that line of glue that we put on there. And if you have used multi-purpose glue, you know that it dries tacky. And so we're just going to, and then knock this off our blending brush a little bit, and then come back with this sponge here. And I love this kind of organic stripe across the bottom. Okay, whoops. So let's take this and pour it back into the bottle. And I'm going to turn off the camera just one moment to pick up our gold flakes, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so we're going to start our assembly with a basic gray card base that's 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2, and put some multi-purpose glue on this Whisper White piece. Just making sure that this is sticking. Okay, and then I've got this great piece that was embossed with the painted 3D embossing folder, and I want to add a piece of tear and tape. Let me see which side I want to use. I think I want to hard to decide. So we're just going to put a stripe across here. Tear that. And then let's find my bone folder here. Give that a little bit of a burnish. And then before we go any further with this, I've got a piece of the gold-edged ribbon in Very Vanilla from the annual catalog, and my dark basic gray Stampin' Blends, and I'm just going to color my ribbon. And I've put down the piece of scrap paper because the alcohol ink in the Stampin' Blends will bleed through the ribbon as we color. Let's just turn this around. And this is just a great way to have one more gold detail on our card. So let me take my take your pick here and pull this off. And then we're going to put the ribbon down all the way out to the edge here and across, oops, the tear and tape. Okay, and then let me take my scissors and give that a little bit of a trim. I'd rather have a little extra ribbon and trim it off than not enough. And next I'm going to take my black Stampin' Dimensionals and put those on. Okay, and I'm going to put a couple more of these on than I normally do, just because we've embossed this piece, and so it softens the cardstock when you emboss it, and we'll give it a little extra help in staying even and flat. So let's straighten our card and put this layer down. And then for our gilded piece, I'm just going to take some of my multi-purpose glue and touch it on in a few little places. I don't want this stuck down hard. I do like that the little bit of airy that not doing those ends gives you. And then let's bring those black dimensionals back in. And we will put our sentiment heart right here in the middle. And there is my masculine Valentine's Day card for this year. Thanks for stopping by today. You can find your Stampin' Up! Products in my store through the link in the description below if you live here in the U.S. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your card making friends. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell if you'd like to be notified the next time I upload a video. And have a great day. Bye.